Hello class, my name is Ben Chan and I'm here to discuss about the social issue influence. The book I have read for my FEU is Fahrenheit 451. This story is written by Ray Bradbury and it is about an alternative timeline where books are considered to be a threat to society. The protagonist, Guy Montague, is a fireman who does not take out fires but sets homes on fire that contain books within them. He never thinks about his job until he meets a 17-year-old girl named Clarice, who tells him about a time when books were loved and not feared by society. Guy begins to argue about himself about his job and his life, which causes his curiosity to burst as he wishes to find the secrets of books. This leads to many conflicts with his wife, Mildred, his boss, Beatty, and grows many relationships between Faber, an old scholar, and Granger. Throughout this whole book, a major theme and social issue that stands out is influence. Throughout the book, many citizens are scared and have a huge hatred towards books, which was caused by a group of people disliking books because they were too realistic, and made people feel really sad and depressed, causing a great hate towards books, leading them to be illegal and burnt by the firemen. Since they believe the books are evil and depressing, they believe that if there was no more books, their society would be happy. Miss Bowles, one of Mildred's friends, heard poetry from Guy, who learned it from a book and became disgusted and sad because of it. She begins to tell everyone around that I've always said poetry and tears, poetry and suicide, and crying and awful feelings, poetry and sickness. Because of how she was raised in society, where books were considered to be evil, she blamed books for the awful feelings she had. If one citizen was raised to think like that, many other citizens will think the same as well. Not only books were hated for the realistic stories, but they also began to be replaced by technology, which was said by Beatty. Then motion pictures. In the early 20th century, radio, television, things began to have mass, and because they had mass, they became simpler. Because of how technology came in and replaced the books, everyone became mindless and believed television was greater than books and even other people. For example, Mildred discovered Guy has been hoarding books for years illegally, and she wishes for him to burn all the books that he has and watch television instead. However, he refuses. Because of that, she soon starts to grow a dislike towards him, and as he would try to convince her the books are good, she decides to turn him in because he was different. With technology's influence, the citizens' mind, they would choose technology over the... Aside from Fahrenheit, another story that contains a theme of influence is Animal Farm. In Animal Farm, influence has an impactful role for Napoleon's plot, as without it, he would not be able to rule the farm. As soon as Napoleon gets rid of Snowball, he immediately tells Squealer to tell all the animals that Snowball, who as we know, was no better than a criminal. With Squealer telling all the citizens about Snowball's status, they are influenced into agreeing with him, and start seeing Napoleon as a more fit leader than Snowball. As Napoleon moves closer to becoming the official leader, the narrator states, now that Snowball was out of the way, the plan could go forward without his interference. Since Snowball was banished, Napoleon could influence the citizen however he wants without anyone else telling them what to do or what to think. Snowball would have no way to imply Old Major's dreams since he couldn't influence any of the citizens because he wasn't there. Similarly to Fahrenheit, books and Snowball were both hated by the citizens and looked down on by the government. Moving on, the fall of a city, the protagonist, Teddy, is in love with his paper dolls and enjoys playing with them. However, he wishes to keep it a secret from his guardians, who are considered to be the antagonists. Now, when they ask him what he's doing in the attic, he refuses to let them know what he was doing and lies to them. They eventually find out, and they both start making fun of him and state, they look pretty much like paper dolls to me. The next thing you know, you'll be wanting us to put skirts on you. This causes him to have multiple conflicts with himself, and everything that he thought of as he was playing the paper dolls, he realized that they were right. This causes him to lose his mind. Because of how they made fun about his paper dolls, that unintentionally influenced him into believing the paper dolls were bad, which led him to gritting his teeth and grunting. He tore at his walls. He was crying by the time he finished tearing it to shreds. With all of his humiliation and influence by the guardians, he lost his innocence because he lost interest in something he used to enjoy so much. But then, because of the humiliation, he started to tear and destroy it after his guardians made fun of him. Likewise, to Fahrenheit, books are looked down and hated by society. In this case, the paper dolls are adjacent to the books, and Teddy and his guardians are the same as the society. Also, Teddy and Guy are both similar as they both decide to burn or tear the thing they love most. However, in Fahrenheit, Guy begins to realize books aren't as bad as they seem. Aside from stories, this social issue is present in the real world. A writer named Jonah Smith from Ottawa said, "The local government has also been asked by Communication Securities established to look at whether the 2019 federal election is vulnerable to outside influence, particularly through cyber crimes." Yves Cott, the Commissioner of Canada election, told the Senate committee in April that concerns about foreign money and third-party influence are serious enough that they might merit the attention of Parliament. This would imply that anyone from the outside, whether if it's another type of government or a certain individual, that would mean they would be able to manipulate the elections into seeing who could become the next potential leader of Canada or a type of government. Overall, influence has a great impact on certain individuals and groups. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and have a good one.